Is our director.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shahrazad Mia. Abhi, we are on the film set of Tanch, which is There Are No Children Here. Aaj aakhri shoot day tha, and the process has been really great for all of us. The film is about Saima, who goes to a Pakistani wedding, जहाँ पे उसके साथ assault होता है, और फिर उसके बाद the film is about how the Pakistani community around her helps her cope and get through the event. Casting वगैरह जो थी, हमें बहुत बड़ी response आई थी casting के लिए. I think at least 250 to 300 people applied for the roles. And उसमें से Ishtiaq Saab was one of them. He was one of the lead roles of Masood, who plays the lead character's father. उसके अलावा we have like a wonderful cast, and everybody was so great in their various different roles. You know, I really think that ये जो film है, it's very much about Pakistanis and Pakistan, and what we can do as a community to try and uplift one another, or make things better in the future.
Hey, hi Pooja and Harleen. We just have a couple questions for you. The first one, starting off as, so how was your experience like working in There Are No Children Here? We'll start with Harleen.
Okay, so in this movie, I'm supposed to be Pooja's mom, and though I'm supposed to be a very experienced mother and social person, as well as I'm supposed to have a teaching background, but in this movie I feel that mothers is pointing to the mothers who, in spite of knowing what has happened with their daughter, tend to turn a blind eye to it. And so this has been very close to my heart while making this film, because this is a very common practice, it's a very common thing happening in our cultures and cultures, unfortunately. And it's a subject which needs to come up, and it's a subject which has a lot of questions for the society to answer.
Okay.
So my name is Pooja, and I play 16-year-old Saima. In this film, she goes to her cousin's wedding, and she experiences assault for the first time. and she relies on the women in her life in order to guide her through this dramatic event. And I guess playing this role is there's a lot of responsibility that comes with this role because you want to accurately portray who the character is and what her background, how her background experiences her life, but also to show the emotion and how traumatic it can be for teenage girls especially, and especially relying on the women in your life. It requires a lot of bravery and courage to come forward, but also there's a lot of pain behind every decision she makes. So I think this movie portrays a lot of how women impact each other, especially in the South Asian community, and how we can kind of help each other, but also how each choice has a consequence. And see how it goes forward.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And then just another thing, quick question to ask. There was a scene in the movie where there's an ant crawling on Saima's foot. Would you mind elaborating on what that meant to you or what that was meant to showcase in the movie?
Well, it was supposed to showcase how disassociated she was in that moment, to not even feel like an ant crawling on you, you know? She was so lost, so withdrawn in that moment that she couldn't even feel the things around her. Yeah, so it was supposed to show like how traumatized she was in that moment, for her not to even feel
Okay.
Yes, and I also feel that she is just basically a little girl budding into her adulthood, and she's always been very scared of bugs and ants and all. But that moment was so traumatic for her that she did not even acknowledge that there's an ant or a bug crawling on her foot. Like, she was so lost in her own misery and in her own thoughts that these things, or you can say that they didn't matter to her anymore. She was in such a state of shock.
Okay.
Whereas in South Asian culture, you do a lot of things, and in a lot of Asian cultures, not just South Asian, you do a lot of things for your family and for your community. And it's not all necessarily bad. That's why we have things like joint family homes, and that's why parents will buy their first homes for their children back home. They'll help them go through school. But that also comes with its pitfalls. You have to listen to what your peers say and what your community wants from you. You marry into a certain family because it might be better for you for religious reasons or caste or financial reasons. So there's so many expectations that are placed on my fellow South Asians. And I've seen so many young people and older people be torn to pieces on the inside because of what is expected from them from society versus who they really are inside and what they really want. But in my film, I wanted to choose, I wanted to tackle this subject, and the end was really like a direct confrontation towards the audience and people who are from that culture that watch this film, because I want them to realize that they're very much a part of this, and we're all a part of this. And that the only way to stop it is if we really take a good hard look at ourselves and challenge ourselves to break away from these generational patterns that have kept us in this ongoing